our existing customer base, their opinions matter. How they use the product matters.
Hi everybody, thanks for joining. I'm here with Aryai, who heads our migration effort, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that with him here so you learn a little bit more about it. Sean, we have 10, close to 11,000 customers, most of which are on the original product, Easy Clocking. We've now launched a new platform, a fully integrated workforce management platform. Sometimes we refer to it as 2.0, but it's really easy workforce software. What's so special about migrating 10,000 plus customers over to a new platform? You've done this before. Why is this so difficult?
It's a great question, Will. So let's try to frame it a bit. Whenever you're replatforming, you're looking to extend new capabilities to your customers. And each platform has a lifespan, similar to us, right? So there's always new technologies that come into play, and the way you can really take advantage of that and future-proof your services is to replatform. And this is we're at that point where there are new technologies available today that we've incorporated into Easy Workforce. And the migration of our customers to go from the existing platform, which has been rock solid and very valuable to our customers to take care of what they need today, has been in place, but to take them to that new platform so that they have the capability to take advantage of those new technologies and those new capabilities.
So we call it a new platform, but just to be fair, we've got 400 plus customers on it already. So this isn't a brand new product that somebody's going to be forced to be a guinea pig using it. This is really a proven product that's just feature rich, fully integrated, et cetera, as a workforce management solution. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Great.
And there was initial customers, would be the beta testers, and that feedback, over the past 6 months has really brought the product to a stage where you could be rest assured that you can easily migrate to this platform. Not only it will take care of the services that you had and the capabilities, but then you have the additional capabilities, the advanced scheduling, the ability to do things at a global level that will apply to groups, not just individual areas. So these are some key benefits that our customers will be able to take advantage of when they move over to this new platform.
So for customers who are going to watch this video, and they've talked to us about potentially moving to the new platform, and they're happy with what they have already in the old platform, and it's not going away anytime soon, right? Why do they want to change? What's the advantage there? I know there's access to new technologies, but if I'm happy with what I'm getting out of it, what do I get out of that?
The innovation is really going to happen in the new platform. This suite of products, from the foundation that it's built on, is where that innovation will take place. So to your point, what we're doing with the existing technology is making sure that it's still rock solid and stable, but that new innovation won't happen in that platform. And in the future, there will be a date where the resources will come off of the existing platform and that product will be sunset. There's no level of urgency today on that. Obviously we're committed to our customer base and we will support them through that period, but really it's the graduation to move on to that new platform.
Got it. So the quick bite to take away from that is the old product's not going away yet. We haven't sunset it. They can still use it. It works. However, if they want to be a little more progressive, they want to take advantage of new features, innovation, et cetera, or among this suite where there are more products, not just time and attendance, but also advanced scheduling, HR, time off management, et cetera. If they want to take advantage of that, that's really the new platform. That's where they need to be.
That's right. And then the integration capabilities, right? The future integration capabilities, adding additional payroll companies to that. The company's R&D dollars are going to be pointed to the direction of our new product.
in the direction the industry is going, while there's still a proliferation of these clock devices sitting out there where people are doing manual punches as they enter and leave work, that still exists. It's going to exist for a long, long time. We're seeing a greater and greater shift in the workplace. 70% of all employees in the U.S. are deskless, so huge percentage. We're seeing a shift where it used to be just the blue collar workers, or primarily blue collar workers, in a non-office environment that are using clocks to clock in and clock out. We're now seeing the emergence of things like the gig economy and contingent workers and things like that, and maybe not those that are used to using clocking devices to go in and out, but companies still have to plan for their time, optimize the use of their time, allocate their time efficiently, track it, and ultimately pay. And so we're seeing these trends like gig economy and others that are challenging those paradigms a little bit. Is that the type of thing that you think that the Easy Workforce platform is well suited to address?
Absolutely. And not only is the workforce changing, the technologies that plug into that workforce, the peripheral technologies that tie into the workforce management suite are constantly evolving. Our capabilities for remote workers, or let's say construction workers, to have the geotagging available to see where they are. You want to optimize your workforce. Right. And the capabilities in Easy Workforce software allows you to do that. We want to be somewhat agnostic as to the method. To your point about the workforce changing, there's more remote workers. You want to have the capabilities to be able to leverage kiosks. You want to have world-class mobile apps where your users, your employees can interact and punch in and out and get messages and do more with the mobile app in the future and now. And then there are some traditional locations that would still want clocks, but even the clocks themselves are evolving. Yeah. Where the advancements that we have in our latest clocks with the facial recognition really came into play not only for the pandemic, but really touchless ways of punching in and out. So these are emerging technologies that Easy Workforce as a platform is better suited to adopt.
I'd agree. So one of the other topics that's really hot and we hear a lot about is artificial intelligence, AI. In fact, Harvard Business Review, the current issue this month here in December, is entirely dedicated to artificial intelligence. And they talk about how companies that, not specifically software companies, but companies that in their business that are trying to figure out how to utilize AI, if they're really just starting that search now, they're already behind. And that they make the case throughout several of these articles that you need to partner with companies that are progressive and that are utilizing AI in their solutions to help you perform better as a company. Without giving away any secrets of what we're doing with AI in the product, are those the types of innovations that you're thinking of when you talk about future development and that kind of thing?
AI is absolutely part of it. Machine learning is part of it. These are technologies that tap into not only the data that's generated by the customer, but also the product itself and the capabilities from integrations as well. So that's the headroom that we started off the conversation with, that Easy Workforce provides. And having that basically future-proofs you for those advancements. So that's why we're making an effort now that we have a released product, and it's tested, it's tried and true, and now it's a great time to move customers over to really take advantage of that.
Yeah, and I know we're offering all sorts of programs to make that easier and faster and more seamless. We're piling in lots of services to go with that. We're being more innovative in the way customers can actually access devices and that kind of thing, where they can subscribe to hardware that they can use for the period of the time rather than having to spend a lot of money up front for these clocks and so on. And that assures that the device technology is then future-proof too, so they will get refreshes of device and things like that, right? Okay. I think that's all really valuable stuff. You mentioned a moment ago, and I want to bring it back up, is the emergence of mobile. And I look at what the market has done and everybody knows they need to have a mobile app, so they are pushing the same technology, essentially mobilizing it, saying, here's access to what you're used to using inside a mobile app. Is there real innovation there? I'm not so sure, but when you have a mobile-first approach like we do, and we're engineering for users that may or may not involve devices, and we're pushing additional services through mobile interfaces and that kind of thing, that opens up an incredible amount of innovation. I would expect, I'm asking if you would agree with this, I would expect that customers that are looking to move from the older Easy Clocking product to Easy Workforce software, the 2.0 platform, one of the things they're going to get is that innovation that's going to be driven through the mobile interface.
Absolutely. So that it's its own ecosystem, if you will, because it allows our customers to not only interact with their employees, but it creates a platform, that ecosystem, to provide additional services, whether it's notifications or other ones that we have on our roadmap today that in due time we'll be able to, customers will see. The key point I wanted to impress upon you and our customers is that there is a roadmap that has those innovations, and they're coming. So obviously I can't talk about them today, but
we'll share them soon.
Stay tuned, because that ecosystem of mobile is something that the architecture of Easy Workforce is at a foundational level built to support.
It is, and I'd also say we can push innovation through that interface, right? But it was also architected for us to be able to push partner innovation through that interface. So the way customers leverage and utilize technology could very well change pretty dramatically as this stuff kind of emerges. So it's a pretty exciting time for us. We're thrilled to be doing it. I know you are. You came here specifically to lead this migration, and it's a massive effort, and few people in technology have actually led a migration of this magnitude. I know you've done it before. Your previous job, you led a migration of a few more than that.
I certainly have the battle scars of having been involved and leading teams during other large types of migrations where we've had to re-platform. So the bringing in the experience there, making sure that we're taking care of our customers. I think one thing that is really important to us as an organization is the concept of earned business. All of our existing customers, we've earned their business. So taking care of that customer base of over 10,000 organizations that have trusted us with time and attendance, scheduling, and potentially new services that we're going to roll out, that earned business historically has always been better for any organization to nurture and develop. So part of the experience that I bring over is to make sure that we're not fixated just on growing new business, but really taking care of our existing customers and that earned business, and making them feel special by whether it's the promotions we give, access to services in the organization, to make them feel that they're the VIP customers, right? And regardless of size, we want to take care of them and make sure we bring them to the new platform at an advantage because they were an existing customer.
That signals a bit of a change in philosophy for us. We've been so focused over the years in acquiring customers and making sure we onboard them appropriately to make them successful, and then support them when they need help beyond that. And that's okay. That's what companies do when they're trying to grow and acquire customers. And we're entering a hyper-growth phase now in what we're doing. So there's going to be even more growth. However, we're reevaluating that entire customer experience. I know you have a lot of experience in doing that elsewhere too. It's part of why you came here. That customer experience we're reevaluating and putting metrics to it. We're layering in extra services that didn't exist before. We're helping customers to be successful with the platform in different ways. We're supporting them in different ways. You want to comment on that a little bit because you're so close to so much of that.
I think some of our customers may attest to getting more inquiries from us as an organization. So I've been somewhat instrumental in pushing that, because we value their feedback.
Yeah.
We're not really going to grow without that feedback.
Right.
There's the organic growth that you have, but our existing customer base, their opinions matter. How they use the product matters. How they feel about the services we provide, whether it's customer support, whether it's tech support, whether it's onboarding, our sales teams. There's many points of interaction within the company. So we need to make sure that we keep our eyes on that. And as we go into this hyper growth phase, that we're in now, that we don't lose that connection and that we're looking to improve those interactions.
I would argue we have not had a good enough connection. And I know we've talked about this, and maybe a lot of our customers are watching this right now saying, well, I haven't heard from them in a long time, or I heard from them for the first couple of times the last few months. And so a couple of things, like we've launched a Voice of the Customer initiative where we want regular feedback. We want to hear how we're doing. Are we pestering you? Are we bringing value to when we bring you these services? Are they valuable to you at all? Talk about that a little bit, because we haven't really had a formal way of collecting feedback and analyzing and acting on it before, but now we do.
So the initiative to gather that feedback across our entire customer base, that's something that is really important. I think without the baselines that come out of that, we really can't tell whether we're going towards our North Star. So within those areas, whether it's the, would they refer us to one of their colleagues? How would they rate individual product areas? How would they rate the different human interactions that they have? Ultimately, are they happy with us, right? So as the customers will notice that they're going to get more and more communications around this. That's really the driving point for that, is measuring ourselves and keeping ourselves honest.
So when a customer gets a survey from us, we're not trying to get them to buy something necessarily. We're really trying to get their voice. We want to hear what they think, what they say, what they want. We want to hear how they think we can improve.
Absolutely.
And we intend to act on it.
If you take a look at our last two surveys that we sent out to our customers, there was no really call to action to buy anything. The call to action is help us. Give us the feedback we need to improve product, services, and the people interactions.
I think it was a great move. I think a lot of people, yourself included, worked really hard to make that an easy way for customers to interact with us. And we're building lots of other proactive outreach type services for customers to help them be more successful with the products. So they can learn about technologies, new things coming along that they're going to get anyway. Yes, sometimes we're going to tell them about things they can purchase, but particularly around learning more from our customers, I think it signals it's a very deliberate shift for us. We deliberately said we need to now focus on what customers think of us and what they need from us. As we enter into hypergrowth, we've got to be very good at getting that, because suddenly the 10 or 11,000 customers we have become 20,000 and 30,000. We need to be good at getting their voice too. So we take that seriously, and we've hired and staffed around this. We've built incredible tools and data and analytics around this because we want to be the best at it that we can possibly be.
Well, the one thing I wouldn't leave out are the users. So a lot of times our surveys go out and we're touching the principals. We're touching, folks in the accounting, folks in purchasing, right? A lot of times the actual user may not necessarily be representative in there. To augment that, we have surveys built into our product and the ability to provide feedback from the user as well. Because ultimately, we want the user experience to be world-class. Right. And that's what we're constantly looking to iterate and continue to develop that out. I believe today we do have a world-class experience, but the, to your point before, that the workforce is constantly evolving and changing, how else do we gauge that without talking to our users and understanding the user experience?
That's a great point. We've invested a lot of time and effort and money into making sure we can capture, user feedback in the product too. Most other software companies out there, they kind of have a support function. When you call or you email in there, a ticket is initiated, and they track how long it takes them to respond. They try and meet your service level their service level commitments, and that's fantastic. And people can improve things as they do that. But I don't feel that that's innovative. It's not. It's kind of table stakes today. How fast can you respond to my question when I have a problem? We shouldn't be in the business of simply fixing problems. We should be in the business of helping our customers excel at what they do and leverage the technology. We're supposed to make life simpler for them. It's in the name. It's easy workforce. Are we making it easier for them or not?
The best way to understand that is talking to our customers. And the feedback comes in multiple mechanisms, as I said before, but our sales team, our CSM team, our account management teams, they're following up on those sales. They're making sure that is the life of the people using the product and are benefiting from the product, are they better than they were before? And we really hone in on that to make sure that that's happening. Yeah. Because if we're not doing that, we're missing the mark, right? So these pieces that we're putting into place today, and some of the our customers, I'm sure, already have received not just the surveys but also contact from our CSM and our account management teams, looking to follow up with them to try to understand how they're using the product. Are we, are there opportunities there that we can make it better for them? I think that's really key to provide that value that you.
So maybe if there's an ask in this for the customers who are watching this video, it might be, hey, help us help you. Yes. Be willing to engage with us. We really are trying to get better, and we're trying to make your experience better. So if you get a survey from us, we'd really appreciate the response. If you hear from a rep, we'd really appreciate you spending time with them.
Yeah, answer the surveys, return those calls. it's to help you.
Yeah, and I'd also add, we're actually very sensitive about the amount of time we ask them for. We're ruthless about when we send these surveys out that we try and meet certain time requirements and keep them very, very short and very easy to respond to. That data is incredibly useful and valuable for us to make their experience better.
Yeah, and when we do our own internal testing, we take a look at, what is the average time to complete the survey, and we tend to under-promise and over-deliver. So we'll say in the emails that going out, this will take 5 minutes, but in reality, it's about 3.5 minutes.
Right. So let's shift gears a little bit and think about customer experience. And I know you're an expert in this field, and you've dealt with this in a couple of different markets. Besides just the purchasing and use of the product, what's happening in the practice of customer experience, CX, that's really changing the market? Not with us specifically, but just in general, what's happening with CX?
You'll see a few trends that are out there today, specific to measuring the end-to-end engagement, right? So there's the software delivery lifecycle, SDLC, that we call in the industry. And too many times, software companies will map the customer to that, right? And say, where are we in the product journey, and where does customers map to that? You have to flip the script. You have to see where the customer is in their journey, and then see how does our product complement them in their journey. I think that's one of the biggest things you're seeing in the industry, is not keying in on, let me build a product and see who will buy it, but seeing who has a problem today, and how do I solve it with the solution.
Software products are engineered a little differently today than they were in previous technical generations. Those are much shorter than people generations, right? And I'm not sure customers always have visibility that or fully appreciate, nor should they have to, right? They should know that their lives get better, that we're solving problems for them, that we've built solutions around the business problem that exists. So they shouldn't become software experts in order to deploy our software, or anybody else's really. They should be experts in their role, in their business, and we should bring tools to help them get better at solving those problems.
Absolutely. The more invisible the software can be so that they can do their jobs better, that's when you know you're really making advancements. One of the things is you'll notice in new technology, a lot of the hardware companies are trying to deliver products without manuals. That's almost like a goal, that you make something so intuitive, out of the box, you can get it up and running without having to read, back in the day when you had a manual this thick, right?
We're all used to the iPhone experience now. We used to reference the Netflix experience, like we just want to be able to navigate easily, and that's a UI issue. But now we talk about the iPhone experience. And anyone, even if you don't own an iPhone, I can hand you an iPhone and you pick it up and you'll figure out how to use it.
That's right.
And Apple's not going to train you on how to use an iPhone.
No.
It sets expectations, and that bleeds over into the business world. It's not just personal technology. It's an interesting time to be developing software because the elegance is often in the simplicity. And if you think about how menu-driven and click-driven and everything software has been in the past, and we're beyond that now. We're in apps, and we're in, I hate the term GUI because it's so old, but the graphical, the very visual type interactions. And people are experimenting with so many other types of data inputs too. But it's going to be exciting to see what happens in this. And we're dealing with a lot of the people and human capital issues in managing workforces, and some of these areas start to blur because integration has gotten so good. We've invested so heavily in it that integration is what actually enables the solution. It's not that our product is the solution. It's our product used in concert with other technologies that they already have is what really makes the solution elegant and seamless. Would you agree? Is that common across all technologies?
It's a goal, right? It's something that a lot of technologies strive towards, right? The areas that we lean into are the jobs to be done. What tasks do the folks using our products, what problems are we solving for them? Is it someone that's in HR? Is it someone that's responsible for payroll at a company? What is that function or that job that they're doing? And how do we take a look at that end-to-end job or the task that they need to do with our software and make it better?
So how do you measure that? I have some thoughts, but I'm curious what your thoughts are. We have a tool that helps them accomplish a job. And then how do you measure the efficacy?
There's in the UX world, there's something called empathy mapping, and then there's also something called jobs to be done. And you basically map out, after you've done your research, sitting down, talking to customers, observing how they use your product, you map out that experience or that job or the task. And then you see, okay, here's an area of friction. And you focus on removing that. And you prioritize based on the most friction. And as you work through that list, that task becomes easier and easier to do with your platform.
Right. No, that's a great way to express it. I like it. Sean, great conversation. Thank you. I know we covered a lot of topics. It's really around customer experience, and our migration is kind of a backdrop for that because a lot of our customers are going to be evaluating that. So thanks for talking a little bit about benefits in there. I know there are a lot more details that we're publishing about it to help customers kind of evaluate that. But as always, great conversation. Really enjoyed it. And thank you all for your time you spent with us today. Thanks.
Thank you.